All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined by my tag team partner every week, Josh Kimmel. What's up, brother? What's up, Josh?
Man, I'm hanging out. I'm about to I am officially 38 years and 364 days old. And when the clock strikes midnight, I'm going to be one step closer to 40. I'm feeling it. I'm on the edge, 39. I'm going to be on the edge. I went to the gym today. We discussed this before the show. I did a little pre-workout, oh crap, I got to go to the movie theater. So I did the barbell 10 times, 10 reps. You know I work out. You know that.
Yes.
But I have not been in about 3 months. Full disclosure. Have not worked out. Have not lifted a weight in three months. I did my warm-up set like I'm there. Put 45s on. I got 2 reps. So your boy lost a lot of muscle in the past 3 months, and I blame that on my old age. So I don't know how. You'll be there soon. You'll be there soon, buddy. Getting out of bed hurts. Sitting in those movie theater chairs today hurts. Being at SmackDown late last night, in my late 9:30 is late to me. That hurt. So how you doing, man? Did you have a
I'm
good Christmas?
Dude, Christmas was awesome. The Christmas day was awesome. Christmas time, my daughter was sick, my youngest, so we had to take her to the children's hospital. She has RSV, so we had to go there and get her checked. We've been having to do breathing treatments with her. So we were up and we got home. We didn't get back home till like almost close to 2. And then my son was still up, so we had to get him. We go, dude, if you don't go to bed, Santa's gonna pass by, and I was like, stay in your room. So finally, when he got to bed, we were able to set everything up for Santa and everything else. And maybe didn't go to bed till like 3:30, 3:40. And then we actually got to sleep in. And by sleeping, I mean by like 9 in the morning. Me and my wife woke up and go, why aren't the kids here? Because they usually come in. Well, my son, I woke up at 4 in the morning and he was trying to wake everybody up. My father-in-law, he ended up knocking out on the couch. So I woke him up and he's like, fun, you guys take forever. I'm like, dude, you woke up at 4. Like, what? So but it was great. And again, as you see, I got a nice Dolphins black sweater with the old 2000s logo, the one that we grew up with. And so that was really cool. Nice subtle one. And then this was on the bottom of the bag, and it's Hulk Hogan Hulkamania shirt, and I was like, holy crap, I think it's my first ever real Hulkamania shirt. So I'm really excited I had to wear it for today's show. Nice. I kept digging deeper in the bag trying to find Charlotte Flair. Did not find anything like that. Is what it is, but I'm doing all right, man. I'm ready to get to it. We got Finn Stanza in the comments. Bobby's growing that peach fuzz. It takes a week, bro. It will be back before we know it. It's cool. But man, yeah, both in Miami's still alive in the playoffs, talking about Dolphins. Cincinnati beat the Broncos. But what sucks is, I don't know if you heard this. I know yesterday you guys were on OUS. You were talking about Jalen Waddle. I kind of chimed in there about why I don't think Jalen Waddle should start over. I forgot who we were talking about at that moment.
But it was Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers. Why I think Jacoby should, because first off, you can't rely on Jalen Waddle to stay in a game or even start a game or even make a catch. And now you find out that Tua Tagovailoa is doubtful for tomorrow with a hip injury. So he's not, more than likely is not going to play. So it is what it is. I'm cool. I'm happy. Yes, Fitzgerald says it. I'll say it too. Happy almost birthday, Josh.
Thank you.
39, my man. I'll just give you just say right here. Freaking love having you on the channel. Love everything you do. I love that we're doing this show together. It's more to me. I don't get as stressed with this show. I like to kind of have fun. It kind of gets my fantasy wrestling, in my mind, kind of how we book and everything. And couldn't ask to do it with a better person, my man. Appreciate you and happy birthday, my man.
Thank you. And Evan, my 10-pack, because I went down to a 10-pack for the Lightning. We actually have that game for tomorrow against the Habs, but I gave my ticket away, so I'm not going to go. I'm not going to spend my birthday at the Amalie Arena because I was just there last night. And can I talk about SmackDown before we get into our award show?
Yeah, dude, you were there, man. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, this is the war. I'm gonna talk positives. Okay, so the tickets say doors open at 6 p.m. I got the tickets where it's all you can eat, all you can drink. I'm taking my son. Can we go to McDonald's, Dada? No, buddy, we got food on the way. Can we go to Wendy's, Dada? No, we got food on the way. Right? We get there at 5:45. They come out. Oh, sorry, the WWE says that we can't open the doors at 6 till 6:30. Mind you, it's almost 80 degrees with humidity at 78%. We're all dying. I know everyone else in the whole world is like, oh, it's Christmas and it's cold. We're dying. It's hot. So that being said, come on, WWE, get your stuff right. We didn't actually walk into the doors till 7, which is an hour before, which I paid for the all you can eat, drink, and food, whatever. Great participation. The new lady, Alicia Taylor, was getting everyone hyped up before the show. We got Sami Zayn. We got Jey Uso. It's going to be a packed show. I'm hyped. And then I get a 25-minute 6-woman tag team match that it felt like I was at AEW. It was a throwaway show. The entire show sucked. Every time they come to Tampa, it's either Legends Night or it's the holidays and we don't care. Every single year. And it's just demoralizing, Bobby. I think this is my last ride. It's my last ride going to any kind of Raw or SmackDown. But I am interested in going to the house show tonight, but I had to do this show because they're in Orlando tonight. And so is AEW across the street.
Oh, okay.
And the WWE house show sold more tickets than the AEW pay-per-view. And that's just mind-boggling to me.
You know, though, house shows are a lot of fun, a lot more fan engagement. Did you get to see when CM Punk came out in a house show in a shower cap and a towel? Damian Priest was getting jumped, and so CM Punk came running out of the shower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was great. That was great. So, house show is probably a good investment to go just to enjoy because you don't have to expect much. Just enjoy wrestling.
Right.
Where SmackDown, your expectation is this is going to be a good show, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this was trash. And that sucks.
It felt like a house show. The only good things about the show, I'll say positives. Chelsea Green was fun, but it was too short. She had a celebration of the
she was dressed up. I saw that.
Did you see the promo? It was hilarious.
She was awesome. Yeah, she's great.
The youngest, the oldest, the longest reigning the United States Women's Champion of all time. Like it was just Chris
She's
Jericho
not lying. It's all true.
Yeah. It was all like Chris Jericho level heel kind of stuff. It was pretty fun. Sami Zayn, his entrance was everyone went nuts for that. The biggest pop of the night, and you're not gonna believe it. Can you guess who the biggest pop of the night was?
Nia Jax.
No, she got people. No, I'm not even joking, Bobby. We left. Everyone left. That's when the concessions were the busiest. That's when the bathrooms were the busiest. When she came out, when we heard her, you heard you heard that. People, guys, it's not boo. We like you because you're a bad guy. It's boo. You are terrible.
You legitimately suck.
Like we biggest pop of the night was Corey Graves. That's just
the
biggest.
Really,
dude. When his music hit before the show and he came out, bro, the place exploded. I'm like, are we in Pittsburgh or is Corey Graves' family like 18,000 of us or just all Corey Graves' family? It was pretty fun though. That being said, if you have a small child or a child that's into wrestling, or maybe you're trying to get him to watch wrestling with you and he or she doesn't get into it on the television. My son doesn't watch on television, but he was invested in every single flip Montez Ford did, every single slam that, Braun Strowman did. Braun came out and my son was like, oh my God, so I think he's going to get more into it as I take him to more shows like that. And that's just a tip to all you dads out there. If your son or daughter just doesn't like wrestling, just take him to an event because it is a spectacle. Even though it was a terrible show and it meant nothing in the grand scheme of storylines, nothing mattered. It was still cool to see the superstars out there and perform, except for Nia Jax.
Man, obviously this is a special show for us. We've talked about this all year since we started about our end of the year awards, and it was tough. It was absolutely tough. I mean, really, when you start getting into it, I mean, show of the year, storyline of the year, rivalry of the year, heel turn of the year. I mean, you go on and on. Tag team of the year was probably really tough because tag teams are just, I mean, all of it really. I mean, breakout start of the year was really tough for me. I had it a tie first, and then I switched it up, and I said, no, okay, I'm good with this, and I feel okay. But I'll go over the two guys that I think should definitely be in that conversation. But before we get into that, man, let's get into some dirt sheet stuff very quick with rumors. I mean, I sent you some messages about it. I saw some more stuff on it. The road to WrestleMania. We did our Royal Rumble predictions last week and discussed how we thought it could be playing out. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I did talk about, for me, the men's Royal Rumble being John Cena winning and possibly challenging Gunther. And you brought up a great point. You're like, will he really go for the secondary title, or would he go for the WWE title, the number one title? And again, I thought, if you want to make that title more legitimate, to go through over in regards to just being in a high profile match, that's why it would make sense. But latest reports coming out is that the WWE is really toying with the idea of having with John Cena take on Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, the Undisputed Championship, at WrestleMania, being one main event, and then Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in another main event, maybe night one and then night two, possibly for the World Championship or wherever, however that will play out. What makes, you start going, well, wait a second, how does that work out? Because Gunther's on Raw, whatever. Mm-hmm. All these promos for Netflix show Cody Rhodes on Netflix on Raw. So obviously that switch up is going to go down. I do see Roman on these graphics as well, but I think Roman, I don't know if they're actually going to push Roman, because then that's going to be a packed house. Roman, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. So let me just ask you, man, just obviously before we see the story build up, how it plays out, whatever, we'll get there when it happens. But just hearing that possibly we'll see a John Cena, Cody Rhodes main event and a CM Punk Roman Reigns main event, how does that make you feel inside?
I gave you the little short answer via text, and I had time to think about it. And I still don't like it, because what you're doing is you're putting, unless you turn Cody full heel,
yes,
it doesn't make sense. I don't want to see this whole respect for respect title. Like, I'm just coming for the title, and Cody, I respect you, John. I don't need to see these long promos between the two of just like, respect me, brother, and we're just respect. I need to see why. The reason can't just be Cody's reason. This is why I hate Cody's story so much. His reason was, I just want to be the WWE champion, not I want to take you down, Roman. That was the entire thing. I want to just be the world champion. Shake my hand. Remember that? He offered Roman a handshake. Bro, that's one of the most evil people. I just watched Sonic 3. He didn't give Eggman a handshake whenever they, spoiler, teamed up. They just they hated it. They're like, oh, this sucks. I got to team up with you, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no sign of respect there. I don't want to see that feud going into WrestleMania. That's supposed to be like an end feud. That's supposed to be the end of something. Not like, oh, you get up and handshake and Will Ospreay versus, whoever. And it's, good show, guys. No, I don't want to see that. I hated that, by the way, with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Taker when they all did that at the end. I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. That was one of the worst.
Breaking kayfabe. It's like, come on, man. Do that backstage when no one's looking at you.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
For real. So, that being said, if they do it right, if Cody's heel, sure. If Cena's heel, sure. I don't think they're going to turn Cena heel. I don't think they're going to turn Cody heel. So that being said, I ain't into it. Now, why does CM Punk want to fight Roman if Roman has nothing? He already said it to Seth. I don't want to fight you, Seth. I don't have no interest in you. You have nothing I want. Unless Roman wins a title anytime soon, I don't see why Punk would want to go after Roman. Now, if Punk beats Gunther, but again, I don't know why Roman wanted to go after that secondary title. He made fun of countless times. He made fun of that title when Seth had it countless times. I just don't see why they would even fight.
Well, I would say because he does not have, he was making fun of that title because he had the WWE title, so this is the world title. He doesn't have the WWE title. Obviously, he probably won't be in that conversation. Mm-hmm. He goes after the world title. Why would CM Punk go after Roman? Well, remember, Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor, and this could be that favor, saying, hey, I helped you out at War Games. I need this shot. Well, okay, you got to win the Elimination Chamber, and then you have it. Yeah, and then you have that. So I can understand that more than I understand John Cena, Cody Rhodes. I don't hate the John Cena, Cody Rhodes match because Cody Rhodes is the probably the closest thing as a face, at least among the younger fans and the hard-ons. That John Cena was. I mean, he's the ultimate baby face right now. He plays ultimate good guy, even though all the what I love about it is you have some wrestlers in the back who are like, dude, you're not the face. You're not a good guy. And they kind of call him out where John never really had that, so that's a difference. But I could see WWE saying, no, let's have the two ultimate baby faces. You never had John Cena versus, these are not faces, but John Cena versus Austin or Austin versus Hogan or any of that. You never had your two big faces take each other on, really. You have this opportunity to do that. in a final run. And what's more blockbuster than John Cena and Cody Rhodes, going at it for a match that's possibly now considered a dream. I don't know if they ever did face each other, but now it doesn't matter if they did, because now it's more of a dream match. So it makes sense on WrestleMania for that to go down. The only thing that could screw that up, though, is what happens with The Rock. That's what keeps saying. If The Rock comes down from his corporate board and decides, okay, now I want to fight, then now they're gonna have to schedule around The Rock and change some stuff up. So these are the loose plans. And then if The Rock shows up, then they have other plans for The Rock where they go ahead and throw him against Cody Rhodes, and then maybe give John Cena that secondary title shot, or just give him a match like that. The Logan Paul match, I found out reading up, was that was Logan Paul asking for that, but they're not going to do that. So that was good news for me. I was like, oh, thank you. Yep. I'm not interested in this match. So anyway, but yeah, we'll see what goes down. Or would you be more interested in Rock versus Cody or Cena versus Cody?
Rock and Cody.
Yeah.
It's already planned. What did he give him?
Yeah,
we're almost a year from that. What did he give him? What we know what it was. What was it?
You have to wrap it up. You have to wrap this up. And obviously, they're not going to fight at the Rumble. You found that out last night. It's Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
I didn't find that out. I left.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, I'm kidding. No, you're breaking news to me. What happened after I left?
Well, it was they announced Cody Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
This shit was putting me to sleep. Sorry, Bobby. This was putting me to sleep. I was like, son, I'm not going to make it home, bro. Yeah. I can't sit through another 30-minute women's match, bro. We got to go.
You've been watching some Vince Russo lately, bro? It's like, yeah. Man. So yeah, it's Nick Aldis demanded him to return the belt, or he will never have a chance. And then it was a bargaining chip. And then he got the rematch. It would be ladder match, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble.
I like that.
So that's gonna be fun. That'll be fun. But man, so let us get into it. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
Just before. Yeah, I got you. Just before we get into the awards, this is difficult for me as well. We'll transition right to. I just want to say this is difficult for me as well. I could have easily had one person sweep this entire list besides the women's wrestler of the year. He could have easily won with 90% of these awards, but I wanted to get some variety in there. But that being said, I still stand strong on every single one of my winners. You know what they are. I don't know your winners, so let that be known to everyone. I always have to submit my awards sooner, or my submission sooner. That's fine. I'm okay with that because I like being shocked. So without further ado, what do you want to start with? Where do you want to go?
Let us start with probably the one that I was kind of like, I really wanted to take it off, but we kept it, which is Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Tag Team of the Year. And we did look over, you had Bleacher Report came out with one, you had Sports Illustrated come out with one, and a lot of them had Axiom, right? Or Axiom, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Fraxium or something.
Yeah, they had a lot of them. Yeah, and maybe they are, but I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't pay attention to them whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it is true. Full disclosure, I did see his list first, or part of it, and I saw all of it today because I create the graphics for the show. Mm-hmm. So don't let him act like I am putting founder pressure on him. Hey man, do it. Or
I was thinking you want my picks. Like I think he's like, oh, Josh is so smart. Like he has to know everything.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. As soon as I saw your stuff, I went, oh crap. I was like, should I make mine different? Because there are some that match, but it is what it is. But let's start with tag team, my man. So I'll start it off first, and then you go follow up. For me, again, this was a lot harder, but I did decide to roll with just because of I think they've done a lot more for their division and for that title than other tag teams in that division, and that would be Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I put them as my tag team of the year. I think, obviously, their run as champions, they had some interesting matches. They made those titles feel a little more important than they really were. Obviously, they did not go as over as we would like them to, but I feel like it made that title feel important. It enhanced them. They enhanced the belt, but it enhanced them and it enhances their story because we're all asking, wait, what the hell happened to Jade Cargill now? Is it Bianca? Was it Naomi? Was it Charlotte? And so I just think, looking at the whole tag team picture, and that goes, I looked in AEW, I looked at TNA, I did not care for NXT. You think of WWE, and it's like, I just don't know anybody else who made me feel good, different about or care for the tag team titles as much as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. So they are my tag team of the year. And there you go. What's yours?
Ooh. So mine is really funny because I couldn't think of a good tag team. Not one that deserves it. Not one single tag team stood out to me. Not even Jade and Bianca, because I'm over their stuff as well. They don't seem like there's only so much they can do. If they had multiple women, if they had, let's say 30 more women on the roster, because the men have a lot more than there are women. And there you could have tag teams for feuds, and it's just they didn't really, to me, do much with it. Whatever. That being said, like, honestly, the casual person, this might be totally wrong and totally wrong. I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Never mind. Edit myself out.
We're gonna say casual person picks Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
You were gonna say that though, weren't you?
I wasn't gonna. I'll tell you after the show. I was gonna say.
Because I can't say what I want to say after he says it. No, just playing.
So mine's gonna go to AEW. It's gonna be Darby Allin and Sting. Now, they had 4 matches as a tag team this year in 2024. They were undefeated. They won the tag team championships on July 2nd against Ricky Starks and Big Bill, and then they beat the Young Bucks at his very last match in the Greenboro Coliseum. That was a huge match. That was AEW's largest buy rate of any pay-per-view they've ever had. They sold that place out when they were only bringing in 18 to 2,400 people in a regular show. They sold that huge venue out. It's because of Sting. Now, was it legit? Did he wrestle well? For his age, yes. And it was entertaining. And guess what? Everyone was interested. Even WWE marks were interested in this match, even if the Young Bucks were involved, which we didn't want them to be involved. But I bought that pay-per-view specifically for that match. And I'm sure a lot of people did because they wanted to see Sting's last match. So just because lack of tag team talent in both divisions or both companies, or even TNA, I went with, the Bobby pick, Sting. Because nostalgia, brother. And plus it's fun to watch. I'm surprised you didn't go them. I really am.
So let me just tell you why I don't hate it. And I don't. And I think it was a great answer. When I saw it pop up, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. But it also makes a lot of sense because, again, that was a team you cared for because of Sting. And Sting enhanced Darby Allin, that you care about him to this day, about what he's doing. That put him in the picture, in the main event picture. And you watch those, man. You watch when they won. So I get it. I can't hate on that answer whatsoever. Again, for me, looking at, I still felt about the tag team titles of AEW than I did before when Sting. To me, it was like, oh, let's go ahead and give them because this will make them look better. Where in WWE with the women's tag team titles, we talked about how they were a whole bunch of nothing, but they felt like something with Jade and Bianca compared to what they were before. They enhanced those belts, and the belts also enhanced them as a team, made them feel like a legitimate team. They weren't just let's just throw them randomly together. So I don't hate it whatsoever. And I understand your question why I didn't do it. I know because, I'm a nostalgia guy. I am a mark for the old guys and all this, the Hulk Hogan's and the Stings and the whatever, but this shows you that I'm a little more laxed. I go for the newbies too. I mean, shame on you. I thought you'd probably go, I don't know. Give me a tag team. Young Bucks. I don't know.
No, but, definitely not them. Definitely not them. not in 2024, at least.
I saw someone write that on there. Like, come on, dude. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
So bad.
Let's do show of the year because I just want to get it out of the way.
Yep.
Because and I'll let you start off first, and then just because I as you know, I'm aware of where you're going, and it's the popular answer, and I get it. So go ahead and roll with it, and then I'll go ahead and follow up.
So it's hard for me to remember, what happened at Bad Blood, for example. It's hard for me to remember these things. So I had to do a lot of research and go back and go, okay, what match was this on? What match was this on? When did Bryan Danielson wrestle, Will Ospreay? All this, I had to go look at everything because it's hard for me to remember things. I'm like, wait, why am I doing this to myself? The show I had the most fun watching by far and away was WrestleMania. And there's no other answer to this. To me, like I had a blast watching Logan Paul, Randy Orton. I had a blast watching. Was that the one? Oh, I had a blast watching Cody Rhodes. You know what? I'm sorry. I had a little lapse of memory here. When the Dead Man came on last night, because you know how when you go to WWE shows and they show like WrestleMania highlights, they showed that again because they want to promote WrestleMania. They showed the Undertaker come out and went dun, and people freaking popped over a video. And then you know what I did, Bobby? I criticized it. Then I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. So that being said, like that kind of changed my mind as well. Like WrestleMania was the best, I don't know, result. I had CM Punk screwing over Drew McIntyre. It had everything that you wanted in a show. It was no bad matches. It was iconic, big moments. Nothing stands out, Bobby. Like Forbidden Door, you even joked about it. Like, you think Forbidden Doors because you misread my text.
Joke. Because you said your match of the year, and then you followed up with I said, these were the two shows you were missing, the two things you're missing, and you said whatever. I don't want to spoil your thing. Forbidden Door, and I was like, okay, so this, and then Forbidden Door, and you're like, oh no, wait, my bad. And so come on now, I wasn't picking on you. I would have, but I wasn't picking on you.
I know. I just feel like it was just one of the best WrestleManias. But you know why? Didn't we have Stephanie come out? Didn't we have Triple H come out and like pretty much announce like this is our WrestleMania. This is our This is our era. And I think we all got hyped about it, especially me. It just sticks out to me more than any other show. SummerSlam was good too. A lot of overseas shows. What was the show in France? That was freaking a banger.
So you spoiled it. You spoiled it.
Well, that was like my second place one. So
yeah, so there it is.
Is that yours?
I got Backlash France is my show of the year. I mean, right. So I understand WrestleMania, and a lot of people picked WrestleMania. Somebody picked AEW something. I forget what it was, but a lot of people picked WrestleMania. But the more I thought about it, I mean, I understand it's you call it the easy answer, and I get it though. I mean, you had the Rock and Roman tag team against Seth and Cody to finish the night. You had the main, obviously Cody finishing the story. It was Triple H's new era. It was a fun show, 2-nighter, the most booked main event of all time. Undertaker, everybody showing up. It was hype. Mm-hmm. But when you think about the simplicity of Backlash, which was the show after, and the matches that were put on the card, you had Cody versus AJ, you had Cargill and Bianca Belair in a tag match. You had Jacob Fatu, not Jacob Fatu, excuse me, Solo and Tunga, whatever his hell name is, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, all that. Just simplicity. You talk about shorter cards. This was a short card. This wasn't a lot of matches, but the matches that were put on, Cody and AJ Styles, the match they put on, then the crowd itself, the atmosphere, everything about it was just the crowd got you into it. You were singing along, you were hyped for it, and it was such a fun, great show. The storyline with the bloodline just getting freshed out there, a new story where we're like, where the hell is this going? Where's Roman? Why is Paul Heyman so freaking scared? It was just, for me, I felt like I could have gone WrestleMania, and I'm not saying that you did, but I could have gone WrestleMania and say, okay, phone it in. Obviously it's a good answer. But for me, I really thought about it, and I went to all the overseas shows. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, dude, those shows were so much fun. Bad, all these other ones. But but that's the one that really said. I almost went. I was thinking Backlash Puerto Rico at first because that was show was amazing. But it was like, no, wait, this was France, and France was just as good, And so that's where I went, dude. I went Backlash France.
Yeah, I was looking at the France show. I'm like, God, that show was so good. Like that's what I was. This was the hardest one for me, and it was my last one that I submitted to you because I'm like, dude, I need more time. Like I didn't say that to you, but I'm like, I need more time. I don't know. So I kind of just copped out and went WrestleMania. Not even lying. But there's so many good PLEs this year. Even AEW had some good shows and bad shows, but they had some.
They all do, right? I mean, they all do. It was tough, and I understand it. And again, I'm sure there were some good AEW shows. I know I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was Forbidden Door or whatever that I saw in there, and I wanted to go back and kind of look at it. I'm looking forward for AEW to go on Max. I don't know when that's going to go down, but I'm really looking.
January.
Oh, in January. Okay, so I'm really looking forward because that's going to give me an opportunity. Like, when everybody's out of the way, I can watch it with my son. That I'm actually going to probably put that on and watch some of these shows. I don't know if they're going to have a library or whatever, but I want to go back and look. Then I won't be able to, and that way I'll be able to do a little bit more better judgment, even though I do follow it in regards of follow up with it. And I'm like, let me just see this. And people are saying this is a match of the year. Oh, this is bullshit, and turn that off. I was like, oh hell no. But anyway, anywho, let's talk best on the mic. And I think you kind of said it earlier that somebody could have stole it or kind of ran away with everything this year. And I think you're going that route, but I'm going to go first on this one, and I'm going to say the best on the microphone this year was Drew McIntyre. I really enjoy, obviously he was already a main eventer. He already was a step, but what he's done this year alone on the mic, on social media, as a character, stories, feuds, matches, whatever. He's done it all, man. Roman is the epicenter of the WWE. Most storylines revolve around Roman Reigns, and Drew McIntyre's story right now revolves around Roman Reigns, or is a branch off of it. But he also is very much surrounding, it surrounds him, to capitalize off the return of CM Punk. Seth Rollins was on screaming and, acting a fool, going off. All Drew McIntyre did was leave, and it became a story. And then he took that story and ran with it. And what he was able to do with CM Punk and make you care. And the words he said, I prayed for this, and it happened when he kept that story alive, that feud alive between CM Punk when CM Punk got hurt. I really enjoy when he's on the microphone. Obviously, I enjoy when he's in ring. He's like the, when you think of a wrestler, obviously, you have these gym rats, you have these, these bird chest wrestlers that come in, do flips and everything. Oh, I love him. I want Ricochet in AEW. He's gonna get an opportunity he doesn't get in WWE, and now he's in AEW, and we laugh at him. It's like the funniest thing to me. Dude, I'm like, it blew my mind the other day. I was reading these comments on Ricochet, and everyone that banged the table for that poor guy to go to AEW, and now are shitting on him because he's horrible on the mic. He's cringeworthy as a character. It's like, but when you look at Drew, you could have put him in the golden age of WWE, and he would have been the main eventer. He would have been right there. He would have been the Scottish Warrior versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. He could have been one of those type guys. But on the microphone, he is the total package.
Yep.
So I got to give him my best on the mic. So I'll hand it off to you. Who do you got?
So you don't know where I was going with who could have won all these awards because you just said him.
Oh.
He was the best on the mic, but I couldn't give him every award. I couldn't.
Okay.
He was. Okay. I'm not just saying.
I was right. Okay, that's where you were. Yeah. That's where you said. Okay.
I'm talking Drew. He was best on the mic, but I can't give him every.
Good, man.
I can't give him every single award. I can't do it. So that being said, I'm going to his biggest rival, CM Punk. He's just so natural and everything he does. It seems like he doesn't have a script. Seems like he just goes out there and talks and says whatever he wants to say, and it all makes sense. Sometimes he does go a little bit too long and he says the same thing over and over. Sometimes I hear that from CM Punk time to time, but then again, he can go ahead and take over. He could take a guy in the front row wearing a whatever Boston jersey over wherever they were, and he can just talk about it for a little bit. He can come back at somebody. He can give somebody his peace of mind with it sounding like not going off a script. We all saw what happened in AEW when Adam Page went after him off script and CM Punk had to respond. He sounded pretty good doing that. That was back in the day. Talking this year, him and his work with Drew, him and his work with Seth Rollins, making it feel real. Like, dude, I don't care about you, bro. Like I'm on my way to the world title, not you, Seth. Everything he says is true. He doesn't sugarcoat it, and he's a tweener. He's not the ultimate baby face. He never said anything. His first promo in WWE this year, or not this year, but coming back was, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. He just teamed with Roman as a mercenary. That's what I like about him. He's just a real guy, a real fighter. He's not I'm a baby face or I'm a heel. And he's just there. And who would have thought I'd be giving this guy an award in 2024? Who would have thought? CM Punk best on the mic this year, asterisk, because it's supposed to be Drew.
It's supposed to be Drew.
It is.
It's a pity award then. It is what it is. No, I again can't be wrong. CM Punk is one of, if not the best on the mic. I mean, but I agree. He could get repetitive. Obviously he's trying to keep that you know, and this that thing alive with him, that aura about him in the
Yep.
microphone. And sometimes you can kind of see what's kind of being forced. But again, when he's on the mic, you listen, you pay attention to him. So I don't think that's a bad one there.
And
So
then I do
go
want
ahead.
to say additional close third place, Kevin Owens. Just want to throw out no explanation,
Yes, yes.
just close third because he's everything he does touches is just gold. Everything he does is just gold.
And
That's it.
again, he's not, a lot of times he's not. That's what's great about them, especially Drew and Kevin Owens. When you hear them talk, and they're supposed to be the bad guys, but when you listen to them, you go, "Holy crap, they're not wrong. They're not the heels here." I mean, you know, that's what's great. That's how you know they're damn good, is when they make too much freaking sense. And I think another one could be, even though he, you know, was it was last year or whatever. No, it was this year, but earlier was The Rock. If The Rock had the final boss had lasted longer after WrestleMania, The Rock it should be in first place there because The Rock final
Yep.
boss was awesome.
Yep.
I mean, again, social media, on the mic, on TV, freaking awesome. So the only reason why I did not put him there was just because he hadn't been there long enough for me, because I think Drew McIntyre. Let us roll with the heel turn of the year. So, you know, let me see who did I go first? So it's your turn right now. So go ahead. Who is your heel
Okay.
turn of the year?
Again, this could be Drew. He turned heel this year. This is the year he turned heel. Could be Drew. Again, not going to give it to him. I'm going to go something different. Going to take a left turn because everyone was talking about this heel turn when it happened. When Mariah May made Toni Storm bleed on the stage, that was one of the most shocking moments of the year for the casual viewer and to people. It made people want to go watch it. It made people want to go, oh, I remember myself saying, oh, wow, AEW did something interesting this year. Couldn't believe it. They didn't follow up well with it. Kind of fell flat. But that moment, that turn on the stage, people were talking about it. And it was one of the best heel turns on a woman. Honestly, a woman's heel turn. They don't happen often, and when they do, they're kind of like, who cares? This one meant something because it drew blood. They drew blood. I'm sorry. They use that in a great way. The women don't draw blood there every single night in AEW. They don't. So whenever the woman does draw blood like that, because we don't see that, we hardly see that in WWE. We never see that in WWE. I don't think we've ever seen a woman bleed in WWE, not on purpose at least. So that being said, that was a great heel turn, one that I'll remember for a long time. There are other good ones out there. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a great one as well. I can't wait to hear it. So let me get yours.
Mariah May turning on
Wow.
Toni Storm.
Oh,
And you
wow.
just said it. You said it drew blood. You know what it drew? Attention.
Mhm.
I don't look at AEW. I follow it. I follow up on it. That drew my attention. It made me turn it on. It made me look up Toni Storm. It made me not look. I knew who Toni Storm was. It made me look up Mariah May. It made me interested in Mariah May. Toni Storm, we know what she did in NXT. You know, we know what she was. He's drinking, guys. That's why we shouldn't listen to any of his awards right now. But anyway, no, dude. You know, again, you know, I almost went Rock on this when Rock smacked Cody Rhodes when kind of he was trying to come in as a face, and you know the fans obviously loved it, but they were kind of turning on him, and you know because he was taking Cody's spot, and for them to do that 360 and Rock, you know, and again Rocco, and you talk about him, you talk about me, talk about my blood, you're talking about his blood, you're talking about my blood, you talk about his answer, you're talking about, you know, and he goes, now we have a problem, and you're like, oh, and he go, pop, and smack the hell out of him, and then that made the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great turn. That was right there with it. And The Rock obviously is so good at going back and forth. And I was this close to putting it down, but I went back and I rewatched. And I watched it with my daughter, my oldest. And she's like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing these rewards and I'm trying to think." And I go, "But I just want to rewatch this and see if I feel the same about it." And I listened to her reaction. She was like, "Oh my gosh!" And when she saw the blood, she goes, "Why is she crying? She's so loud." She's making fun of Tony Stark, but she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, she's done. Leave her alone." Like, you know, and I'm like, even for someone who doesn't watch it, to react in that way and to be angry and you know, and for the crowd to turn on her as the way they did, and like you said, they didn't do well because you lost interest right after it, not too long after it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now Toni Storms is so, I think she's like, this whole character is kind of like, you know, but I think that had to be the heel turn of the year because it made everybody change the channel. it made people go on social media and rewatch it or tune in. Like, wait, what are you talking about? Watch it and then stay and tune in. That means something when it shocks you. You know, the Rock thing didn't shock you. I mean, it still went, whoa, you know, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that didn't really shock you. The beatdown on Cody did. If there was a beatdown of the year, I think that Rock and Cody, Rock beating the hell out of Cody in the back, it would pair up really well with Toni Storm getting her ass kicked. But this one to me was definitely heel turn of the year.
Yep. Also Rans, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
New Day.
New Day's right there. I mean, that was so simplistic, yet meant something. Like, it was simplistic, but it made the point. Because you never saw New Day started off as heels, but you never took them as heels. The fans just loved them. We loved them, even though they had nothing. They weren't relevant. And again, you enjoyed when they came out. But finally, we get the appearance of Big E. Finally, he's on WWE television. We got the three of them together again. And, you know, we're thinking, oh, what is he going to be? And then all of a sudden, Big E, you know, these two that were hating on each other now are paired together, and they're telling Big E basically go F yourself.
Yep.
And you see what's going on with Kofi's mother. You see the fans turning on Kofi's mom, turn on him. They're like, you're done. And the fans won't let them talk, i.e. like a Dominic Mysterio. They're right there as well. And that's the one, you know, that I had written down with like, okay. But I was just like, but what made me go, holy crap, this was cool. This was cool. And it meant something. And it has to go with that Toni Storm. But I'm with you. I think the Kofi and Xavier Woods is right there as well.
Yep. Sweet. I can't believe you picked her. I thought you were going to go New Day. I thought you were going New Day.
No, man. That's why when I looked at your list, I was like, oh, but I couldn't be surprised because you're an AEW guy. But I knew you'd be surprised with me because I'm not. But that, again, that's why I'm a huge fan for MJF. He makes me want to watch it. I watch when he's on. He's old school. He's fun. I mean, I think, you know, I wish he was in WWE because I think he'd be used so much better, but that's just me. It is what it is. But Mariah May and Toni Storm killed it with that story, that shock. So let us roll now with the match of the year. Let's do match of the year. For me, the more I thought about it, there's so many good ones. But again, and I saw a few, and I did watch the quick portions of, like, I saw Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, which looked fun. It looked good. The fans were into it. They were into it. You could tell it was a big time match for the both of them, especially with Bryan Danielson on the outs, and Will Ospreay being the star that he is internationally and obviously in AEW. But, you know, as much as I could, you know, kind of go back and forth here, you know, Roman versus Cody and whatever, I fall back on the one that really stole the show and probably stole the year, that made a certain match important again, because the gimmick matches have really fallen off. And you talked about it, how, you know, when they tell you something like, oh, ladder match or casket match or Hell in the Cell or Elimination Chamber, you're kind of like, yeah, but you know, Hell in a Cell was never, you know, wasn't, you know, like Hell in a Cell. It's like, okay, they're not getting thrown through the cage. They're not getting through all of this. It's not the same. You know, it's just, they fight in the ring and they get hit against the cell and then it's over. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, the feud that led up to it, the payoff at the Bad Blood and Hell in a Cell, the way they made you care about Hell in a Cell again. They made that match dangerous again. They made it feel special again, where it's going to be very hard for whoever follows that up in a Hell in a Cell. So for me, you know, watching it, I think it went 30 plus minutes. The story told in that match, the story leading up to that match, the physicality of that match, making the Hell in the Cell important again, and actually making it feel like it's a legitimate weapon compared to just a prop. I'm giving match of the year to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. They absolutely killed it. I'm rolling with that one. What's your answer, sir?
All right. So this one was, to me, right when I heard match of the year, I'm like, okay, Will Ospreay versus who? Who's Will Ospreay's opponent going to be? Who's going to win their, you know, who's going to win the award piggybacking Will Ospreay? I've watched every single Will Ospreay match this year. I've also watched every single Swerve Strickland match. I've also watched every single Bryan Danielson match. I gave you the wrong card. It was an All In. And it was not
Okay.
Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay was not the winner of this match, although he could have been. Let's be honest. The top 5 matches this year all included Will Ospreay except for this one. And this is Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland All In for the AEW World Championship with Nikki Bella there. Not Nikki. Oh my gosh. I think Nikki was there. I think Nikki was there, but Brie was there with the kids, and we didn't know where this was going because Bryan was on his retirement tour, and he was going to win that title at All In, take it off of Swerve Strickland. I was not happy with this decision, hold on, I was not happy with it going into it because Swerve had just won that title and he was getting momentum. He was finally doing what we wanted him to do, and then out of the left field with no story at all. Here comes Bryan Danielson. I'm like, this is going to suck. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Then the match happened. I'm like, oh, okay, now this is why we're doing it. Because they're tearing down the house. If you like the flippy floppy stuff, cool. This wasn't the flippy floppy stuff. There was a lot of kickouts. There was a lot of false finishes. There was a lot of story as well. With a match that had no story at all, going into it, and then Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland being that good to get story into it. Bryan gasping for breath as he's reaching for his family, as he wants to win this AEW title so bad. It means so much to him to win this title and to ride off into the sunset as a champion. He didn't do that, but you know what I mean. To me, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, their biggest show, including a huge star that was being made right there in Swerve Strickland. Easily, Will Ospreay could have won this match. But the fact that they make, because honestly, let's be real. Will Ospreay doesn't have stories in his matches. It's just flip. We do this. We drop kick.
It's every match I've seen of Ospreay so far. I have felt like the same match.
That's how
I feel. It's a spot match, but it's the same match over and over again.
But it's so good. But it's crisp. It's like for me, your favorite band, right? They have Blink 182. Let's just use them for anything. They have the same style, same kind of music, same kind of tone, same kind of chords. But they're all bangers, right? They all are. You can put on any Blink 182 song, and I'm like, all right, let's go. We're going to the rock show, right? Put on any Will Ospreay match, I'm like, let's ride, baby. We're doing a 30-minute flip fest. I'm into it. But that's why these guys won, because they took chicken shit and they made chicken salad, and it worked. And it worked to complete. I hope you watch this match one day, Bobby. I hope you do.
No, I will. And I did see that one. I did look at the Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. And I, how much I love and respect Daniel Bryan, but yeah. But to me, again, every time I see a Will Ospreay match, it feels exactly the same. The bam, bam, reverse, nothing sells, bounce, bounce, and then finally something sells, and then also he kicks out, and it's kind of like, So it's tough for me to make that match of the year because I have to feel invested in the match. And I don't when I watch them. I want matches where it makes me go, oh my God. And then you think it's false finish and it's a legitimate false finish, not a Will Ospreay false finish, but it is what it is.
But that's why I gave it to Swerve and Bryan Danielson.
I know how you were high on Swerve and you didn't like the way they were kind of booking him. And I know you weren't happy when this match came out, or not when this match came out, when the way it went, but again, it was a good match. I did see highlights of it, and I like Swerve a lot. And hopefully gets back to where he was, but I get it. I can't hate on it.
Crazy Dolphin, what's up?
What's up, Crazy Dolphin? I see you in there, brother.
DIY Gargano Ciampa turnout. Yeah, that's gonna be. I hope so. I hope
that was a fun turn.
Yeah.
When they, I liked Gargano when he was like, well, that was easy. I do like it. I don't think it was the best heel turn, but I think it was a fun heel turn. I like how they kind of did that. And I wouldn't sleep on Randy just yet. I think Randy could possibly do that. Maybe it might happen at the Royal Rumble. He helps Cody win the title, and then RKO's Cody, and then you got your match for Elimination Chamber. Maybe. And then you have, who's going to face John Cena at WrestleMania? Is it Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes? And I think we just booked that. I think that just came in my head. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk story of the year. The story of the year. We have two of them. And their story of the year. There was feud, rivalry, and story. I killed the feud of the year. It's this rivalry. I think I put rivalry. Let me make sure. Did I do that? Or was it feud? Feud of the year. Sorry, I put feud of the year. So anyway, but let's start off with the story of the year. And for me, did I lead off the first? Does it matter? I guess I don't. Who's your story of the year?
So that being said, last award it could have easily gone to Drew and CM Punk. So with that being said, story of the year, Drew and CM Punk. Drew is gonna sweep this entire award show for me. Drew McIntyre is just the man. He carried this whenever CM Punk was injured. This seemed like it went forever, but guess what? We weren't bored of it at all. Now you go story, right? Bloodline, their stories, this and that. To me, this story fell off for the Bloodline this year. You know, we had going out of WrestleMania, leaving April. We had the new Bloodline. We had Solo. Remember how slow that was up front? That people were bored with Solo Sikoa. We didn't believe him. Then he brought in the Tongas. Nobody cared. Literally nobody cared. They were feuding with people that we just didn't care about. It was over and over and over. It was kind of like, okay, this story kind of sucks. The main attention was on Raw with an injured CM Punk and I think Drew McIntyre was injured a little bit in this time as well. And they made the story go 3 different matches, 3 different outcomes, 3 different types of matches. You know, most people would go, okay, do we need to see this again? Rematch. How many times did I tell you, Bobby, do we need to see AJ stuff? Remember when AJ's came back and wrestled Cody for that rematch? I'm like, are we really? Like, we're doing it again? It was Cody Rhodes versus AJ at Backlash. Then it went to Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul at Crown Jewel, and then it went back to AJ and Cody. I'm like, this is boring. But guess what? That second match and that third match with Drew and CM Punk wasn't boring at all. And they were fighting over a freaking bracelet. How simple is that? How simple is that? It started off with, you came back. We don't want you here. I hurt you. I prayed for this and it happened. I took your bracelet that a stupid fan made. No offense to that fan. Just was his words, not mine. And then he's holding this bracelet hostage. That's story. Add to their matches as well. Story of the year by far. Blows anything away. Nothing else will even. There's not even a second place, Bobby. Not even a second place.
So you got to check that whatever you're drinking there, because you're way out there, dude. It's Bloodline. It is the Bloodline. And I, you're right. Where after Roman left, it fell off because we were questioning what was going on with Solo. Can we care? We didn't like the way his book. I was the leader on that. I was like, man, Solo has to win the belt because it has. Why? Who would give a damn if he doesn't? I mean, why is he the tribal chief? That's true. It took a little bit to get there, but their story leading up to WrestleMania revolved around the Bloodline and Roman Reigns. Cody was chasing them. He was chasing the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Roman left. And the Bloodline was still one of the most talked about stories, even with those guys. And as you say, it's dropped off with Solo Sikoa and those 2 other guys. But Paul Heyman kept it going. And then when Paul Heyman was power bombed into a table, you wondered, wait, is Roman going to show up? He never did. But they kept it going. All of a sudden, they and now you talk about even this year, Roman shows back up when it's Cody versus Solo. Roman shows up, everybody cares again. Solo starts getting better before then. You start hearing him on the mic, you start seeing him as a character. He brings in Jacob Fatu. You start looking and you start giving a damn about this story again. Now you're wondering, okay, wait, is Roman coming back? When's The Rock gonna come back? Okay, wait a second. Who's gonna pair up with Roman now? Oh crap, Jimmy Uso's here. Oh crap, everybody's popping again for Jimmy. Oh, now they're on Raw. They're gonna try to recruit Jay. Oh my God, Jay's back. Now they're gonna go like Sammy. Oh my goodness, you have the Bloodline versus the old Bloodline, the new and the bad. Oh my goodness. They win. They go to War Games. Oh, so now CM Punk is a part of the War Games. Now he's paired at it with the Bloodline. He's involved in this story. Wait a second. You know why he's involved in this story? Because it's the most important story in WWE, and it's still the story of the year. How many years going? And I told you this. McMahon and Austin. You go for all these stories throughout the years of WWE. The Bloodline storyline somehow, some way continues to live. I don't know what the McMahon Austin rivalry actually survived because 2-3 years before it finally really died out. I mean, they always teased it again, but it never was. Bloodline continues to be the story that the WWE revolves around. I mean, to me, to say that there's no even second, I mean, you better check in that bottle. I'm drinking water, brother. My brain is clear. I ain't drinking no root beer. I'm caffeine free. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I get the CM Punk Drew McIntyre thing. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I'm going to tell you you're wrong because it is the bloodline. Because we just talked about how every Drew McIntyre, who you're saying is going to sweep it, and I'm with you. He should, right? Legitimately. But even his story revolves around the
CM
bloodline.
Punk. Oh, I was going CM Punk. I'm sorry.
It revolves around the bloodline. Now it's like, oh, you helped Roman Reigns. I'm going to beat you. Look, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. Why are they going nuts? Why are they all pissed off at everybody? Because they're helping Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns. It's the bloodline. So
I see your point. I see it.
Can't argue with you picking something else, but to say that there's no second. To me, it's first. But my wife says it there. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but you are. I mean, she knows how it is. But come on, man. It's the
if you like mid, there was no
mid.
Well, okay, hold on. Bloodline had like peak and then like a real big dip, right? And it stayed down there, flatline for a while. It flatlined, it went boop, boop, boop. Where CM Punk and Drew, when they weren't even on TV, when they were injured, it was always the number one story. Always top. Always top
the number one story. It
always
was a feud. I'll spoil it right now. They're the number one feud of the year.
Same thing to me. I'll say
okay, so we spoiled that already, so we're done with that. But story, it's
the same thing. Feud and story are the same thing, are they not?
No, it's not.
Feud and story is not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
What?
You're crazy.
It's the same thing. It's redundant. It's the same thing.
It's not redundant. The rivalry and the feud is redundant. See, I didn't respond to you on that. Says I'll talk about this on the show. Story is different. The story is what the bloodline is. How, when you're reading a book, you grab a book, chapter 1. Oh, okay. Oh, look, they meet each other. Chapter 8. This is kind of slow. The climax. Whoa! It's the same thing. That's what the bloodline is. It goes like this. It goes like that. And they go, whoa, whoa.
Oh, well.
Where, the feud is different. It's like, oh, I don't like you. You don't like me. Oh, and now it's over. That was a feud. It's over.
It's not over. It's not over.
It is over.
They don't like each other. They still don't like each other.
That's okay. That doesn't mean, but it's over. No one's giving a damn about them anymore. Drew's going after whoever, and CM Punk is going to, we're all wondering, oh, wait, what's this favor? Nobody cares about them anymore. They all care about the bloodline. What's happening with the bloodline? Oh, Roman's gone again. Okay. Oh,
I'll say this. Since War Games, I haven't given a crap about it. I haven't. I have not personally. I have not cared about it.
But you will. That's the difference. Eventually, you're going to give a damn about it again because it's going to come up again.
Not in 2024.
On Saturday Night Main Event with the Ula Fula is on the line. Roman Reigns versus...
I thought that was Raw. I thought that was on Raw on Monday.
Was it on Raw or Saturday Night Main Event? That was Saturday.
I thought it was going to be on Raw.
No, because Seth versus CM Punk. And then, oh no, it is Raw. My bad. Whatever. But either way,
it's going to be the killer. It's going to be the bathroom match.
You're going to. No, it's not.
It's the main event. Look, if CM Punk's so Cena's going to be there.
Yeah,
he's probably going to open the show. You would think.
He has to, and then that's when the first rivalry will show, or he'll probably announce himself as
to me. Seth and CM Punk is the main event. To me,
yeah, it should be the main event. It should be,
which overshadows the bloodline. Therefore, CM Punk is the most.
But it's not. But that's not CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
No, but
that's CM Punk versus Seth. Oh, a new feud. Is that a story? No, it's a feud.
No, it's a story. A story dating back. A story dating back to Survivor Series.
Oh,
this is a story dating back to
my
Survivor
story's
Series.
going back freaking 5 years now, and it's still the most hottest story in WWE.
When I went to SmackDown last night, nobody did this. Nobody cared.
Because it was because the bloodline wasn't really there.
Sammy Uso was there. Sammy Uso was there.
Sammy Uso.
Yeah, he was there.
He's not those guys. Come on now.
He was there.
Come on now.
I left. I said bye. Bye, Sammy. Yeah. I'm beating traffic. I'll see you in the main event when I get home. Guess what, brother? 15 minutes later, I had USA Network on, but I didn't watch it.
All right. So we already went over the story of the year, and then the feud of the year is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Easy.
I mean, you said enough for it. I said enough for it. I mean,
close second. Tony Khan in booking.
Yes, Tony Khan and anything. This one was pretty tough. Breakout star of the year.
Oh yeah.
And well, I'll let you go. I think I went first, so you go ahead now. Who's your breakout star?
This I went back and forth until I finally submitted my final answer. Drew could have won this. And you go, what? Really? He's already over, brother.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't. He was some idiot with a sword and they pumped in fake
To
noise.
you, I mean,
Well, I know to me, but he broke out as a real, like, oh, wow, this is the cool Drew.
yeah,
Imagine what he could have
legitimate.
been. So, again, that's why I'm saying he could have swept it. But I'm going to go Will Ospreay this year. Only because this is the first time the American audience gets to see Will Ospreay, and he's shown up. A lot of people fall, they advertise Nakamura as this international superstar. Well, he kind of fell flat. They advertise, Adam Cole in AEW as this huge guy from NXT, and he's going to change the game. Well, he kind of Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, she kind of fell flat. Will Ospreay, you know what you were getting. Oh, we're going to have banger matches that mean nothing, and he's going to deliver in every single time. And not only that, Bobby, you didn't watch the shows. He was one of the few people, him and MJF, getting reaction from the crowd. People were in the bruv. People were doing the ole, ole, ole. People were into him. People like Will Ospreay. If Will Ospreay chose WWE, he would have been one of the biggest wrestling stars on the planet. I am convinced. He cuts a good promo. He wrestles in the ring. If you just give him the psychology, he's there. But he broke out because it's the first time we're all seeing him on TBS, on TV. We don't just get it. It's like when Kenny Omega came to town. We all heard of Kenny Omega. We all had this idea that Kenny Omega was going to put on bangers, and we heard about him in New Japan. Same kind of concept. Braun Breaker, other guys of that nature, I'm just naming guys that were on my list as well. They broke out as well, but I don't see them being main event players right now, and I do see Will Ospreay as a main event player. I think he could headline any show, any wrestling event that you put on. And that's what I mean by breakout. Like, he can main event shows for AEW forever now, where I don't think the other guys on my list, like a Braun Breaker, like a other guys that, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling your list, Bobby, they're not ready yet. So they didn't really break out, if that makes sense.
Sure. So my definition of breakout star, and I don't think Will Ospreay is a bad answer. Because again, even though he was an international star, he wasn't a really known star in the United States or to the American audience. So for him to come over here and kind of, so I get it. And I'll tell you why, though, I don't think it is him. And I'll tell you why, even though he was able to become a recognized name, it kind of just stayed really in AEW. He didn't really take the wrestling world by storm. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, it's like, obviously he came over here and it worked. I agree with you. I think if he was in WWE and they were able to work with him and the psychiatry of the ring and make it, he could be right there. I mean, he would have killer matches and just killer story and in feuds and whatever. But it is what it is. I don't hate on it because I get it. I'll tell you who I had it tied at first, and then I'll give you my answer. This one was very tough because I had two names and then I had three, and I was like, crap. And I'm not going to do a three-way tie because that's lame. So the two guys that I had originally tied up for breakout star of the year was Damian Priest and Solo Sikoa. That was my original breakout stars. I was like, I can't pick, because what Damian Priest was able to do after he got the world title, first it kind of was stalled out, but then on the microphone, even after the world title, it didn't like he won the world title, he lost it, and then he kind of just fell under radar. No, he won it, and then he became a whole other beast on the microphone, in the ring. You care. When he comes out, you pop. Damian Priest is a legitimate main event player, superstar in WWE, in wrestling. And Solo Sikoa, another one where, he's the new tribal chief. He's the heir apparent. He comes in. We talked about it when he it's like, man, it's just hard to give a damn about him. It's hard to take him seriously. I mean, he didn't win since John Cena. I just don't get it about it. But then you see them with this new group. You see him, you listen to him on the microphone. You see him in the ring. He's kind of grown, and it's like, damn, okay, now I get it. Now I could take him seriously. So it was hard for me to pick either between one of them where I was tied. But then I started thinking more. And I'm like, what an idiot. What am I thinking here? I love those guys. Diehard fan of both of them. I think they're awesome. but there's one guy who is a legitimate breakout star, one who's taken not just his promotion by storm, but the WWE, AEW, pro wrestling community, and that's Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is the breakout star of the year. This guy, nobody paid attention. All of a sudden, everyone does the same thing. Nobody watched TNA. I mean, nobody really paid attention. But all of a sudden, we're all doing his "I Believe in Joe Hendry," and we're all doing. My son does it. My son only knows the song. And then you download him on 2K, and you're playing with Joe Hendry. You never even heard of the guy. Now you like him. He made you care about TNA. He made you care about him. You know, where everybody now we're all wondering, is he going to be a part of the Royal Rumble? He made himself that way. He put himself on the map where he doesn't have to wrestle in WWE, but we all talk about him in WWE. He doesn't have to wrestle in AEW, but his sign is up in AEW. This dude, for me, you know, whether it's in the ring or on the mic or just his promos, his face, he's the breakout star. You could be an AEW fan and not watch WWE, not watch TNA, but you know who Joe Hendry is. You WWE, you don't pay attention to anybody else, but you know who Joe Hendry is. He's the breakout star of the year.
I don't hate it. He came up, and I'll tell you why I didn't put him on my list. I don't hate it. I don't.
I'm a little surprised you didn't have him.
That is such a Josh. That is such a Josh. Oh, but he was on.
You're the one who really. I mean, I found out about it, but you're the one who's like Joe Hendry. I believe, and you know that's why I was a little surprised. I looked at your thing. I was like, what? I was like, I was alone at that moment.
Here's the reason, though. He's not broken out yet. He's not made it big. He's not on.
But that's not the thing. You don't have to become a main eventer. Breakout is somebody who you give a damn about now, who was nothing, who's something. He is a national wrestler. He can go to AEW and you're gonna pop when he gets on.
We'll see at the Rumble if he does. I don't think he'll be there. By the way, that's just my guess. We always hype ourselves up for these. I don't think he's gonna be there. But if he does, and they play his music and he gets a pop, that's when we'll know. If it's silent. You know, when AJ Styles came out, he didn't know. He didn't know that he was going to get that ovation. He's AJ Styles. He's never been on WWE. He wasn't in NXT.
But I'll tell you,
he was in New Japan for the past 8 years before he went to WWE.
Well, that's the same thing though. If Will Ospreay came out at the Royal Rumble, he's going to blow up because everybody knows who Will Ospreay is.
But Joe Hendry,
Joe Hendry. Dude, it's gonna blow up.
But are the people in that arena or that stadium, wherever they're doing the Rumble this year, would they care?
Indianapolis.
Would they care?
They will. I legitimately believe, dude. It's the same. You know, I can't stand Goldberg. Oh, Goldberg. Oh, Goldberg. Oh, Hogan. Oh, Hogan. All that. I don't want to see any of them. You're in that arena. You're boom. Goldberg. They pop. They blow up. That doesn't make him the breakout star. He's already a star. He's a star. I believe in you. Oh. It's going to happen because he broke out. Again, when he doesn't even have to be in the ring. We don't know him in Japan. We didn't know him in Scotland. He did that on his own. He did that in TNA in a studio. From a studio where they'd have a wrestling ring, he became nationally known where fans across the United States sing his song. They know his face. That's what's crazy. That's breakout star for me. He made himself. Does that mean he's going to end up being some great wrestler of all time? No, that doesn't mean it didn't. But he's the breakout. It's kind of like rookie of the year to me, more than you're known. Oh, you're a breakout. No, to me, he broke out. Will Ospreay, he's an international star. Everybody knew who Will Ospreay is. If you really pay attention to pro wrestling in general, internationally, we all know who he was. But that's why I don't think it's wrong because he came over to USA. And if he could have totally flopped, like you brought up Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, even though Nakamura's been in main events before, he's been in WrestleMania, he's not what he should be. We all know that. Will Ospreay has been. He's been at what's been as advertised. He's not my cup of tea, but I get it because he broke out in the United States. But unless you have a casual in WWE who only watches WWE, they might not know who Will Ospreay is, but they know who Joe Hendry is. That's the difference.
Because of NXT. Seriously, a casual viewer.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good. I love it. If he's at the Rumble and he gets a big pop, I'll be very happy for him because I'm a fan of him. Not just because of the song, just because he's actually
Crazy good. Dolphin has Kalani Jordan, I think, as his breakout.
All right, don't know who she is. I think she's on NXT. I think.
Well, that's cool.
I don't watch NXT. Jada Parker for me then. Jada Parker. I picked Jada Parker.
Well,
If I'm
somebody had oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting her name in NXT. She is
Roxanne,
but no, she has
Cora,
the ears, the devil ears. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh crap.
double ears,
Devil ears. She the devil horns. She wears them out to the ring. I can't believe I'm forgetting her name.
Rhea Ripley.
No. I know who Rhea Ripley is.
I don't know who these people are in NXT.
Hold on, man. Hold on. She was
Oh,
she was
Valhalla.
no,
Valhalla.
no. Hold on. As soon as I know
I
her
thought
name,
Mr. Michael. She's got the antler ears. You know, remember Michael Cole's going crazy about her antler. Who? Gosh,
hold on.
Justin Toner, where are you? Who's the woman?
Yeah, I
with
know.
the
He would
double
know.
ears?
That'd be great, but whatever, bro. Let me see if I can find her, dude. Stephanie Vercure. Vactor.
Okay.
That chick. She's. I didn't put her there. But I'm very interested in her.
We got two more awards to go.
Yeah, 2 more. Women's of the year and men of the year. Women of the year and men.
I think we're the same on both. I really do think we're the same on both.
I think we are. So, do you want to start off with the woman of the year?
Sure. It's Liv. It's easy. To me, it's Liv.
Right there. Liv
Did
Morgan,
not
100%.
couldn't care less about her before this feud, before this story.
Yep.
Could not care less about that woman whatsoever, except for she's pretty. But now I care what she does in the ring. Now it's kind of like with Nikki Bella. She was pretty cool, sure, woo. But then she got with John Cena and she started doing the rack attack and she started being like in banger matches or better matches.
She made herself. She broke out. That's
Liv.
what she did. Yeah.
Liv. This was Liv's year to do this, and it was all because someone got hurt and she took advantage of it. It could have been easily like, oh yeah, Rhea got hurt. Okay, Liv, since you're in the story, whatever, we'll give you the title, but we're taking it right off you. No, she still has this title. Now she's losing it on the 6th of January on Netflix, but it was a long title reign, and she made things work. Her and Dom in the beginning was money. Now it sucks because Dom's wife said, nah, fam, we ain't doing that no more. I don't know if you've noticed that at all. They don't even like acknowledge each other anymore. I feel like they're separated. But what Liv Morgan did this year with Rhea Ripley, top dog, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, women of the year. And
so I know my daughter hates me right now. She is a Rhea Ripley fan, diehard. She'd probably like me to say Rhea Ripley, but no, it's Liv Morgan, honey. My daughter's watching. Your dad would never steer you wrong. Just let's be real here. What Liv has done in the women's division, and I agree. At first, she's all right. Liv is cool. She deserves an opportunity. We all said that, but she could have been one of those ones who won the world title and then dropped it, and you still didn't care. She made you care. You care about Liv Morgan. You care about what she's going to do. She's really truly capitalized on the pairing with Dominic Mysterio, the feud with Rhea Ripley, the pairing of Raquel Rodriguez. Her on the mic, her in the ring, she's fun, she's believable. Yeah, dude, she is the wrestler of the year in the women's division, no question. Not saying there's no good ones. There are a lot of good potential women of the year for sure. And Rhea Ripley could be in that conversation for sure. Rhea Ripley is again somebody just goes up, but Liv Morgan is that person. She is there. Liv is gorgeous.
Liv is fine. Yeah, she's good. So is Anna Jay, but she can't. Well, Anna Jay is too, but she's not wrestler of the year. You know what I mean? I'm not basing this on looks, guys.
My wife's watching, so it's okay. But Liv is fine.
Yeah,
like, that's when you go. Liv's fine. I'm like, yeah, but you want to say Liv is fine. What won her was that when she did the turn, it was like, oh, okay, Liv, I see you. But anyway, just playing. Crap.
Close second to Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm was excellent.
Toni Storm, I think that's a great answer or a great second. I know she was in NXT. I don't think she was in WWE, but I know she was in NXT.
Oh, she went to WWE and Charlotte Flair.
Did she go to WWE?
Oh yeah, she quit because Charlotte Flair. She hates that
really?
whole story. Yeah.
I didn't see the story. I don't know I have to look that up. But
I'm not saying she left because of Charlotte. She left because of that storyline.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. Okay, yeah, that's interesting to know. I'll have to look it up. But I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm. I love her work. I love her character before she got hurt. The whole black and white, and I just think that's so cool. And interesting. I think she's gone back to what she used to be. Right? Is that what it is?
She has amnesia now. That she doesn't think any of that happened.
Really? Okay, so
she thinks she just got the AEW. That's her new character.
Okay. You see, that makes me laugh. I think that's funny. I have to look that up. I know she wears, I saw her gimmick and I was like, that's new, but no, okay. She has amnesia. That's funny. I'm watching right now. I guess AEW World End is happening right now.
It's on right now.
World's
Yeah,
End.
it's on right now. Yeah, it's on right now.
And Ricochet is being showered with toilet paper. That's awesome. That poor guy.
Like streamers?
Yeah, they're throwing toilet paper at him in the ring. The fans. He's standing in the middle of the ring, they're throwing toilet paper at him. Legit toilet paper. That's hilarious. That poor freaking guy.
What a time to be alive. It used to be like, okay, Chris, my friend Chris Calford, we're getting this pay-per-view and we're gonna talk about it. Now it's like, oh yeah, World's End was tonight. Pfft, nobody cares.
Yeah, right. That's when you know, it's down bad when you're like, oh, there's a pay-per-view. Oh crap. Okay, let's just make this easy. Okada slaps Ricochet's bald head.
Oh, he's wrestling Okada right now? Cool.
Yeah, I've seen Okada run back and forth. He's doing some stupid thing around the ropes. And then
what do you got? Some bootleg over there? You got some bootleg? You got some.
No, it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. So they're putting clips as it's going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching a bootleg of AEW. We should just do a show, just watch an AEW pay-per-view together. And you go, see, this is awesome. You go, this is trash.
Bro, I ain't got 8 hours to waste right now. That's why I don't buy the show anymore, bro. It's like 8 hours of these. Oh gosh, it's all the same thing.
Now we talked about the women's division. Let's talk about the men's division. I'm just gonna spoil it. It's the same for both of us. Mm-hmm. I will say I can understand the other, men wrestler of the year. I've seen different Cody Rhodes. I've seen Will Ospreay. I've seen them all. But the truth is, I've seen Roman too. I respect it. Respect Gunther. I saw Gunther at one point. Look, it's Drew McIntyre, right? I mean, let's be real. Yeah, that's the wrestler that looks like Marilyn Monroe. You're talking about Toni Storm, her old gimmick. But yeah, no, Drew McIntyre, man. I mean, again, everything he's touching is gold. I mean, the story with the feud with CM Punk, the feud with the Bloodline members, with Sami Zayn. I love that he looked like he was about to attack. Was it Kevin Owens? Who was he about to attack? No, he was about to attack Seth Rollins. It looked like it. He was coming across, and all of a sudden you see Sami Zayn come out of nowhere and attack him. I mean, it's just you always go, what's he going to do next? You're always interested in what he is going to do next. From the mic, from the ring, from the holding the feud of the year, the match of the year, everything about him. He is your wrestler of the year from the men's division. It's Drew McIntyre.
Yes, so I have some statistics right here. I made sure I pulled this up on cagematch.net. They give you every single result from every single house show and regular show that we watch on TV. Drew McIntyre has wrestled 47 matches this year. This is the least amount he's ever wrestled since 2014, where he wrestled 24. He has 18 wins this year. That counts all shows, like I said, all shows. 18 wins. He has 29 losses. His win percentage is 38%. That's perfect. That's a heel. You're supposed to lose these matches, especially in house shows. And the way he pulls it off is so great because it's never his fault why he loses. And it's true. Every single time he says it, it's not his fault why he loses. He gets screwed every single time. How many times did Punk screw him and he turned it into gold? Perfect.
Yeah. That's why, again, he's the heel, right? He's supposed to be the heel. But if you listen to him, if you actually listen to him on the mic, and when he talks, I mean, he talks like a heel, but when you listen, you go, holy crap. It's like Kevin Owens. You go, he's not wrong. He's right. He's not the heel. And so, I mean, even what he did, you talk about, again, when you're not even in the ring, you talk about social media. You talk about when he was on, oh my gosh, with Bubba Ray Dudley and
LaGreca.
Yes, he was with them on their show, and it with Mark Henry, and he just stormed off, and you're like, whoa, that's how good he is. So I can understand people throwing other names out there, but come on, it's Drew McIntyre, guys. So let's refresh some memories here before we wrap this up. Here is Mr. Josh Kimmel's 2024 awards. Go ahead, Josh, run them down, brother.
All right, Wrestler of the Year, Drew McIntyre. Female Wrestler of the Year, Liv Morgan. Breakout Star of the Year, Bruv, Will Ospreay. Match of the Year, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW title at All In. Rivalry and Story of the Year, because they're the same award. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Show of the Year, WrestleMania, of course. Heel Turn of the Year, Mariah May, turning on Toni Storm. Best on the microphone, CM Punk, and Tag Team of the Year, Sting and Darby Allin. That being said, Drew could have won every single award, every single one of them. Did Drew tag team with anyone this year? I'm looking at cagematch.net. No, he did not. He could have won that too, probably if he wanted to. Drew was freaking awesome this year.
Jesus. Mariah May just beat Thunder Rosa with a pile driver through a table. That was crazy. So there you go. So for me,
They wrestled?
They're wrestling now, or they're fighting each other. I just saw. Yeah, no, there was a wrestling match. She pinned her. So Mariah May just beat Thunder Rosa in the AEW. Is that World's End? Is that the name? Yes.
Yeah, World's End.
So okay, so for me, tag team of the year is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Best on the mic, Drew McIntyre. The heel turn of the year, Mariah May turning on Toni Storm. Again, that made me turn on my TV, made me go find out, look more at it. It just got me so interested in both of them and just this in AEW, which it usually never does. Story of the year is the Bloodline Saga. I will die on that hill. You got the Backlash Francis show of the year. Feud of the year is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Match of the year, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in Hell in the Cell. Breakout star, Joe Hendry, because I believe in Joe Hendry. The female wrestler of the year is Liv Morgan. I'm sorry, Audrey, I love you. And the male wrestler of the year is, of course, again, Drew freaking McIntyre. So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Josh, any final thoughts before we wrap this up, my man?
Yeah, man, this was a fun year of wrestling. I hope it doesn't, being at SmackDown last night, I know I talked a lot of trash about it and I was very angry with the show. But that being said, seeing that many families with that many kids into wrestling, when I used to go to these shows, $20 to sit at the 100 levels, now to where it is now, wrestling's in a good place. And I'm happy for 2025 to come up. I'm happy to see next year John Cena's run. What do they do with Gunther? Where does CM Punk even land next year? There's so many good things that we could look forward to. And it used to not be like that. So please, everyone that's watching, cherish this because these are the good times. The good times are back for pro wrestling.
Absolutely, 100%. It's good to be a wrestling fan right now. It's like, it feels like the old days, man. And that's nostalgic in itself. Crazy Dolphin, thank you, my man, for always tuning in and appreciating the work that we put into the show. We have a lot of fun doing it. We really do. I mean, I love all the stuff that I do with the channel and shows, and I do a lot of other stuff besides just doing the shows. But this is maybe, I hate to say it out loud, but it is my favorite show because it just feels a more relaxed one. I don't have to take it as seriously, and I know I can shoot the shit with Josh and just go back and forth and debate and not feel bad about saying he's wrong. And I know he's gonna come at me too. I have a great show. I have a great show with my brother Alex, my best friend I grew up with. But this one right here is the one where I'm like, I'm chilled. I don't have to stress.
Take that, Alex. That's right. That's right.
Vince Stanza, this show sucked. He was quiet the whole time. I expected him to give us all his answers, but
yeah, Evan, who's your wrestler of the year, huh?
Calling in sick tomorrow. Oh, there he is. Yeah, you've been out all week. You got to come back. No, yeah, we got pregame tomorrow. Dolphins are still alive. Bengals lost. Miami's still alive. But of course, if Indianapolis wins and Miami loses, Miami's out. So anyway, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much. I think it will be New Year's. It will be 2025 when we see you guys again. I think it will be. Yeah, right? Am I right? Yes.
Is that right? Oh, wow, it will be. It'll be. You know what we need, Bobby? We need to come out with our some resolutions. We need some resolutions on this show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wrestling resolutions. I promise. Yeah, we'll get into it.
We'll talk about it. Let's text, and then that will be our next show. We'll have fun with that. So anyway, everyone else, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next year. Happy New Year.